Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel. I am here sitting down to video some of the things that are a little bit late in the year. The kids are doing some of their schoolwork, so I thought that this would be a good time to knock out some of the videos that I had planned to do earlier in the year but never got around to doing. So we're going to do that now. The first thing that we are going to start with is the curriculum that we chose for our 8th grader. So Jaxton's curriculum I have here. So let me start by saying that Jaxton and McKinsey are 1 year apart. He is in 8th grade and she is in 7th grade. They do share some of their classes, so you will see some of it repeated in her video, which will follow this. And I wanted to go ahead and do this now because first, I never got it done at the beginning of the school year, but I also plan to do another video later to tell what worked and what didn't work. So I think that, those kind of videos have really helped me over these last few years choose curriculum for my kids. And I already know some things that we're going to be switching. As our kids decide where they are leaning towards their future, things change. You want to give them the tools to help them follow whatever career path they're planning to have. So a lot of that goes into choosing the correct curriculum. So I'm going to show you right now what we have for Jaxton, our 8th grader. Okay, so let's start with math. In the previous years, and actually at the beginning of this year, we have done a lot of different things for math. And at the beginning of this year, Jaxton started 8th grade doing pre-algebra with BJU Press. He did not continue doing that because we realized that it was kind of boring to him, and I wanted him to be challenged. So we switched over, and we did some research, and we switched over to Think Well Online, and he is now doing Honors Algebra 1. So he doesn't have a book. You print everything out, but he has a notebook that he keeps, and we print out his... So like this was his first module. It tells you the tasks that you're supposed to complete in every lesson. And this is just working out so much better. We get to print out his lesson notes, and then each lesson has a beginning video, like an orientation video, and then he works through the notes, does the worksheets. There's interactive practice online, extra practice online, and he's doing really well in that class. So because he wants to be an engineer, I skipped pre-algebra. I never took pre-algebra. I actually took Algebra 1 in the 8th grade, and we had not thought about that until he continued to express the desire to become an engineer. So in order to get him ready to take calculus in the future, like a couple of months ago or a couple weeks ago, I don't remember how long it's been, but I said, let's just skip pre-algebra. You just stop doing that and we'll just go ahead and get you started on algebra, and you'll just complete algebra and then move straight into algebra 2 or geometry, whichever one he chooses to do next. So we did switch over to Think Well. So right now he is doing a Think Well Algebra 1 honors class. Think Well has both options. You can either take the Algebra 1 or you can take the Algebra 1 with honors. And I think that they have that option for a lot of their classes. So that was the choice that we made for him, again, because he is going to be an engineer. Now, nothing against BJU math. McKinsey is still doing BJU math, but it's just, after watching some of the videos on YouTube about I also asked on Facebook what some of the people's children who had gone to engineering school, what math they used. That's what they suggested. So right now it's working out really well for us. So that's just the math that he's doing right now. Okay, so the next important thing is English. He is also taking writing and grammar with literature 8 from BJU Press. So he is still doing the online learning, distance learning option from BJU Press. I don't have his English notebook because we have taken the papers out of it, and he has worked through quite a bit of it up to this point of the year. And I actually have his, they're all grouped together by chapters. And so a lot of the chapters are the same, or they cover the same information between 7th and 8th grade. So McKinsey and Jaxton they have been doing their chapters out of order because I've tried to match up the chapters, where chapter 13 might be pronouns for 8th grade, whereas chapter 11 is pronouns for 7th grade. So I took all of that apart, and they have been doing the same chapters together. It just works out that well that way that they are really close in age, so that they kind of have a partner to talk to about things. So that is his English. He has been doing that with BJU Press, and also his literature. I do have his literature book, The Excursions in Literature for 8th grade. He does that. He reads through the stories and answers the questions. And so that's pretty much what he is doing for English this year. Okay, another class that Jaxton and McKinsey are taking together is Bible. Now, at the beginning of the school year, I was really confused because BJU has changed up their class for 7th and 8th grade. So I guess the class that they had, the Old Testament class that was for 8th grade, has been switched over to 7th grade. But we were advised to take the Old Testament Bible class, which used to be 8th grade, which is now 7th grade. So they are both doing Old Testament through BJU Distance Learning together. And so they have been working through that, and they will continue this for the rest of the year. Again, we will come back later and tell you what we plan to do next year. But for right now, this is really working out. They watch the videos. They're so much fun. Their teacher is a really good teacher, and I hear them listening to the videos, and they talk about what they have learned. They ask me questions, and it's just really good to see them working through this Old Testament book. So next, with that, they're working through the Bible. They are also both together doing Spanish 1. So that means that McKinsey is completing Spanish 1 in 7th grade, and Jaxton is completing Spanish 1 in 8th grade. We have done Spanish before in our homeschool, so this was not that difficult for them to move into. It's a great Spanish class. They both have a Spanish-English Bible. So as they're doing their Bible curriculum, they're also using their Spanish Bible. So it's kind of gone hand in hand with them learning how to speak Spanish biblically, as far as language goes. But it's a really good curriculum. So again, this is through BJU, and they will continue on with Spanish 2 and Spanish 3. So we have really enjoyed working through this. I guess everyone in the family listens to the videos, and we're really learning how to remember some of the vocabulary, and I enjoy the teacher that teaches Spanish 1 through BJU Press. It really was a good choice for them this year. I didn't realize that Jaxton and McKinsey are doing so many classes together. I guess the only thing they're not doing together is English and math, because they are also doing history. At the beginning of the year, we did purchase American History from BJU, but they have since stopped doing that. So we did not continue on with that video curriculum. It was just not something that we really thought was something that they like to do. So we just continued on with Master Books, The World's Story 1. They had started this last year when she was in 6th grade and he was in 7th grade, but they did not finish it. So we went through and they have been working through this history book. And I really appreciate the way that Master Books does this history. It's a real simple format, and you can we do 1 chapter a week. I don't think that the plan has it 1 chapter a week, but we do the way that I set up the reading and their worksheets and their projects. We do 1 chapter each week, and it has really worked out because it's easy to divide the reading and the worksheets. And they really have been learning a lot. So again, they are doing World's Story 1, The Ancients. Now, they will not continue with this next year because Jaxton is going into high school and he will be picking up a high school history course. But right now, again, they are doing the World's Story 1, The Ancients with Master Books. Jaxton has an idea of what he wants to be, which is an engineer. So he is preparing to do chemistry and physics in high school. So this year he has been working through these books by God's Design. These are the ones that he chose. We have all 4 sets, and so he has chosen to do these. These are Properties of Matter, Properties of Ecosystems, and Properties of Atoms and Molecules. This is the one that he's working through right now. And I really enjoy this curriculum as well, or I have enjoyed it for him because it's super simple to read, learn the vocabulary, do the different experiments that are in the book. I have had him, do reports on the people that he's learning about, and it has really worked to give him kind of like a basic understanding of the science that he is going to be focusing on in his high school and college careers. So that is what he has been doing for science. Now, he also spends a lot of time doing his Civil Air Patrol reading and the books that Civil Air Patrol puts out, because they are Civil Air Patrol cadets and he is now a cadet tech sergeant. So he does spend a lot of time learning about leadership and learning how to interact with other people as a team. And so he uses his Learn to Lead book as part of his homeschool curriculum as well. So this is just a short rundown of what we have chosen to do for our 8th grade year for Jaxton. Now, McKinsey's 8th grade year next year will look completely different because she does not plan to be an engineer. So as we begin to kind of like understand what direction they're going, that will be seen. You'll be able to see that we try to choose the curriculum that we think is best going to prepare them for whatever path they plan to go down. And as Jaxton wants to be an engineer, we just wanted to get him through the 8th grade year as well as possible to prepare him for the future classes that he will have to take. So I hope that y'all enjoyed this video. If you want to see any flip throughs of any of this curriculum, let me know in the comments below and I will do a video flipping through any of these that you would like to see. If you have any questions about anything, feel free to ask them in the comments. And we're always here to interact with you guys. So that's it for this video. That's Jaxton's 8th grade curriculum. I really appreciate you guys watching, and until next time, bye.